Big time. Got to go after the bag. Did you eat a lot on Thanksgiving, Freak?
No. I had to work.
You had to work too? Hey, get the money, man. I was off and I ate. I won my first turkey bowl after 10 years. We won 2-1. That was big time for me. But enough about that, man. Let's get into this, man. I'm really, really excited about this interview today with this guest, man, because it's like pulling teeth with this guy, man. You know what I mean? It was hard to get this guy out, man, but he's here. You know what I mean? Great inspiration, not only to South Philly, but to basketball itself. The great Rabbit himself, Kareem Rab Towns, man. What's going on, Rab?
What's going on?
How you feeling today, sir?
I'm good.
How was your Thanksgiving, sir?
It was cool.
It was cool. Did you eat a lot?
I ate enough.
Oh man. Well, this is where I give it over to Hoff. She'll ask you a few questions, and then we'll go from there. That's cool?
Not a problem.
My man.
Kareem. I think I had to be, maybe 10 years old when I first met you.
Sunny Hill Camps.
Absolutely. Mr. T. Good guy, for real. Mr. T, a good guy. He has some of the greatest basketball players at his camp, which was, I'm drawing a blank. What's the name of his camp? Shuey Sisman. There you go. There you go. Used to have the camps 16th and Jackson, 4th and Shunk. First time I met Kareem, he was my counselor. Gave me a lot of good tips. A lot of good tips.
Small world.
It definitely is. Cause when he mentioned you, I'm like, I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, this the one I know he's talking about. Okay. I'm glad to have you on the show. So my first question for you is, do you feel times have changed as far as the draft and how players are evaluated during the process?
Definitely. I feel like guys the game is faster. I mean, it's more advanced. But I feel like back in the day that it was more teaching than it is now. They're going off of more athletics and the spectacular. So it's like people don't realize that basically that basic basketball could really take you real far. But like I said, too much internet, too much YouTube. I ain't saying it's messing basketball up, but times done changed. That's all I can say.
I mean, I agree with that. Times have definitely changed. Me personally, I think if I had, the social media world back when I was in school and, doing my thing, I think things would have been a lot different for me. So it's a gateway for different people. And, like you said, times have changed and it's a different era. People get it any way that they can. And right now, 2017, it looks like the internet is the way to go. That's how you get seen because not a lot of kids are, I can't say that. They are traveling, but still you have some good, talented kids that are not on AAU teams, Their parents don't know anything about AAU. So it's a different avenue to allow yourself to get publicity and to be seen, So my next question for you, do you feel you were a product of the right player, wrong era?
No, I was meant to be when I was, when it was my time. Like, I can't complain. Like, I get asked that a lot. I feel like, in this era, I think I would really flourish. But it wasn't meant for me to be in this era. So, I took advantage of, my era. I think I did pretty well. Trust me, it crosses my mind a lot when I see a lot of this crazy basketball. But I'm happy with my era.
That's good. That's definitely a good thing.
The game that you got right now, I'm talking about you, Kareem. I'm not even calling you Kareem. Rad. You, with your game in the prom right now, going to the draft. Where do you see yourself? Did you see it number 2 pick, number 1 pick, number 3 pick? Let's be honest.
Let's
be honest with this.
Like how she mentioned before, like in between YouTube and AAU and all that stuff, when it wasn't out back then, that alone would have put me and certain other people on a high plateau, whereas we would have been able to be seen by more than more people, and guys jumping from high school to the pros. I don't know if I was that good to jump from high school to the pros, but talent-wise, my talent probably could have done that. But I mean, like I said, different time, different era. I mean, I believe in this era, yeah, things would have been so much easier for me. But you know, it is what it is.
That was real modest of you. This is a guy that averaged 38 as a junior and 41 as a senior in high school. So I see you jumping from high school to the pros. That's me personally.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, it wasn't even really thought of back then. Not too many guys was going to the pros. Not in my era. Like the guys I came out with, the Chris Webbers and the Jason Kidds and all, they all went to college.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like LeBron and Kobe and them guys is like once in a lifetime player to Kevin Garnett's and the T-Max. But that's not going to happen every year.
Right.
But let's talk about the Deshaun Stevens and those type guys.
Darius Miles.
Darius Miles and
Well,
Gerald
I mean,
Greens and them type guys.
the opportunity presented itself. I mean, so it was like they took advantage of the opportunity. Even though their games wasn't as advanced as KG and Kobe and none of them, I mean, if you 18 years old, 17 years old, you're not going to turn down no money.
Nah, you're not.
It's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. I mean, all they had to do was break their leg, arm, or something like that, and the opportunity's out the window. So,
Right.
hey, man, you got to go for it while you can.
Most definitely.
Okay. I mean, I could relate to that for sure. I'm definitely a very humble person, so it's nothing wrong with being modest and, allow those, your fans and the outsiders to, make that decision as far as, where what your game is and where your level of play is, because at the end of the day, we all not going to get to go pro. We all not going, get to go to the D1 school that we really want to go to. I went to LaSalle. You went to LaSalle, I wanted to go other places, but my mom wasn't having that, so I had to stay in Philly where my fan base was, and my biggest fans was my family. So it's really. It has its ups and its downs as far as, the college that you go to. But best believe whatever, your work ethic is and what you put in, that's what you're going to get out. And me going to LaSalle, it's a low D1 school, but, I brought some noise and, allowed them to come recognize and know that it's some good players up in Philly, So I was very blessed, and I didn't have the best of coaches. I think if I did, and what the kids have right now, I wouldn't be here. But I made what I had work for me. So I took advantage of those good people that did come in my life. I took heed. I was very obedient, and I think that was the biggest plus for me. And it started in my household with my own, mother and father, being obedient. So therefore, when I stepped outside the world, I knew it was right for me, and I know I could recognize somebody who had my best interests at heart, because I had that in my home. So best believe that's what's up. And sometimes, we got to deal with the cards that we were given. And, I definitely hear that, I'm very humble in that aspect. So I could definitely relate. My other question I have for you, at the height of your high school career, let the people know where you were ranked by Parade Magazine and other publications in PA and in America.
Well, after my junior year, after I led the public league in scoring, I had went to Nike camp. And when I went to camp, I was ranked like the 82nd player in the country. But after that week at camp, I came out as the 34th player in the country. So
Wow.
Nice.
I made a big jump. But it still was like my school opposed to those nationally ranked schools that was getting all the publicity or whatever. And don't get me wrong, I can't take away from the guys that was on the nationally ranked squads, but a lot of Philly squads would have did damage to those squads.
Right.
It was like they was more so hyped than anything because of the national schedule and stuff like that. But I mean, the Gratzes, the Southerns, the Franklin Leonards of the world would have gave those teams fits.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I can agree to that because I know even when I played high school and in college and some teams we go to, and I'm like, what? Like, how I ain't get here at these high ranked schools? I'm looking at these cats. And I'm just like, man.
Trust me, there's a lot of politics.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. I had Doris Burke reach out to my coach my senior year in college, like, hey, I heard you got this player. I wanted to come out. So this is the time when the Columbine was going on. I'm up against the high people. The Dukes and the Kansas and teams like that. And I mean, truth be told, is definitely political. I was. I mean, I did my thing. I did what I could. I had went to speak to Dawn before that. She gave me a nice little talk. Little pep talk. She walked me through it. I went there. I thought I did my thing, but the cards wasn't dealt like that for me. And I just went back to the drawing board. I knew it wasn't over. I'm going to be a professional. Like, damn that. I'm not going to let nobody hold me back from what it is that I want to do, even though I couldn't do it at the level that I wanted to. Played overseas, so did my thing. But to each his own, and I think the schools that you do go to can play a major part, but as far as what you can bring, I don't believe so. Is your talent is your talent. Can't nobody take that from you. What you're doing, the work that you put in, that's yours. But teams definitely, as far as college, definitely hold some pull. As you can see, even with the college game now, you if you go look at Duke, they got they old players. They keeping it in the family, and I think that's very dope. Definitely, I see that in Dawn doing that. Dawn's doing that also at South Carolina. So, it's definitely a family thing. And I love to see that because basketball is not always viewed as family. You got people going at each other's necks over who gonna get these minutes. And at the end of the day, we supposed to be a family, but people don't know how to transpire that. And it's okay to be competitive, but you don't have to be envious or jealous. We all try and get to the same point. But I mean, I think that's our problem as a community as a whole as well. But that's a different topic. I ain't gonna give it all to you like that, but it's a lot that basketball opens your eyes to see, and I think a lot of our young people, as well as even the adults, are naive to. It definitely gave me a lot of discipline and self-determination. So it's so much that basketball can do for you that I think that the more people that we have that are awoke in that sport, the better our kids will be. And that's definitely, we need good people like that because our youth is definitely lost. But I'm gonna turn this over. Go ahead, Q.
All right. Quick question. What could this Kareem Towns right now tell the 19-year-old Kareem Towns? What advice would you tell him? What to do, what not to do, and things of that nature?
Probably sleep in the gym. I mean, because off of talent alone, like I was a pro.
Okay.
But I really didn't have a real strong work ethic because everything everybody was breaking their neck to do, I could do with ease.
Okay.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was like, I went and practiced. Like, I wasn't one of those guys because I was good. I didn't practice.
Okay.
I mean, but what I'm saying is I should have put in more work and did more things. But that also goes back to me personally, going back to Southern. Like, before I went to LaSalle, it was like, I had to cram so much schoolwork in just to get into school. Because we really wasn't properly prepared for college.
Right.
So when I got to college, it was like, I went to summer school. My first semester was like, I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to make it through the first semester. It was killing me because it was like something totally new to me.
Mm-hmm.
But, I stuck with it because like she said, I pretty much knew what I wanted to do. And my family wasn't rich. I was living with my mother and my sisters, so it was like, I get a free education. Why not take advantage of it? I'm the first one in the whole entire family to go to college, and I got a chance to graduate from college. It was like, it was killing two birds with one stone. I want to make sure that I graduate. I want to make sure I make my family and my mother proud of me.
Right.
So, I guess, like, 19 to now, It was more so, like I said, I bust my behind in the classroom. Like, people might think because you're an athlete that a lot of stuff is given to you. Yeah, don't get me wrong, you get your perks and you get a lot of privileges, but at the end of the day, I stayed up plenty of nights doing term papers, exams and stuff, cramming stuff in so I could be eligible. I never was ineligible except my freshman year, and that wasn't through the university. That was from me not passing the SATs.
Right.
So,
Wow.
I was a Prop 48, so it really helped me for real, because I think my freshman year it allowed me really to conquer how college schoolwork was, what was all about, like far as how to study, when to study, like the hours I needed, to put in. But I still had time to play basketball. But that year helped me so much because it propelled me from my sophomore, junior, senior year, where every year my GPA went up and I was able to graduate in 4 years. So sitting out that year, it wasn't that bad for me. Mm-hmm. And plus I was only, a half an hour from home. So
right.
That really was a blessing. I mean, because I already had planned, if I got the 700 that year, I was out. I wasn't going on LaSalle. And it's like no knock on LaSalle. LaSalle was great to me, but I wasn't going to go there. I was going to UMass. I was going to be the first big guard for Calipari. So that was already in my mind. And the crazy thing with that was Calipari still wanted me to come, but it was like, man, I'm going to be homesick.
Okay.
I'm going to be up there by myself. I don't know nobody up there. But if I know what I know now, I should have took my behind up there.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, besides the schoolwork, which I knew I would have got through, he put all his players in positions to get jobs at the next level.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That was like something, I don't regret it, but I think about it every now and then.
Okay.
All right.
Quick question. So, I'm hearing freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year in college. What did you do different from your freshman year to your sophomore to your junior to your senior?
Took more shots, worked on my body a little bit more.
This is your freshman year you took more shots?
Nah, my freshman year, I was just all schoolwork. I concentrated on schoolwork because I didn't want to flunk out of school.
Right.
Like I said, all this stuff was new to me. So it was like a transition from you just getting by to you gotta really put the work in. And unlike high school where you got a bunch of friends with you and y'all all doing the same thing,
right?
It ain't like that in college. They give you a syllabus for that whole first semester. Say, listen, this is what's due, all the dates or whatever. Ain't nobody coming to tell you, look, you got a test next week, or you got a paper in 2 days. You gotta have it done. You gotta do it on your own. Like, you gotta grow up fast.
Right.
And like I said, coming from the inner city, it was a little rough because I wasn't properly prepared. But LaSalle did give me the opportunity to have tutors in summer school, where I got extra help. And once I figured it out and knew how to schedule my work and workouts, everything just fell right into place.
Absolutely.
So while you were at school, did you feel as though you had the weight of the neighborhood, city on your shoulders? Like, he's our guy. He's going to the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, you know what I'm saying? That's all you ever heard about was Rad. It was Rad, and then, okay. Nobody else.
Well, with me, I guess growing up in a house with two women, like my mother and my sister always kept me level-headed. So it was like, I never had it. Like, I was the superstar outside the house, but in the house, I was just regular Rad, the baby in the house. So it was like, I took that with me on the court. Like, I've never been a guy that do too much talking. Like, I ain't gonna do too much complaining. So really, it was like, I know my hood was behind me. I knew Philly was behind me. But at the end of the day, like, I couldn't concentrate on what everybody else wanted me to do. I only could do what I could do. Like,
right.
If it was meant to go that way, I would have embraced it. But, I had a lot of guys who used to call me and stay on my back and say stuff. I'm like, but I can shrug stuff off as if you saying it, but I see your lips moving, but I ain't really paying no attention. I'm not going to put the pressure on myself as though I fail and I feel bad. Like, I only can do what I can do. Like, if it was called for me to make the pros and my neighborhood was, I definitely would have shot my neighborhood up. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, they supported me from 6th grade to this present moment. But them wasn't the cards I was dealt. So I never really felt no pressure at all.
That's good. I mean, shoot, I can't say that. But that's good. I mean, I know I felt some pressure, but I don't think the pressure was more from my hood. It was more from my siblings, you know. Of course, all my siblings went to college, but not all of them was able, you know, to further their career after college. Some didn't play college, you know, high school, that was it. But yeah, I had some pressure, you know, definitely going overseas and, you know, going to a country that I knew nothing about. My first year I was in Germany. You know, I'm used to, you know, coming back to the crib from practice. It's a house full of people. There's nobody in there. Like, I'm like, what's up? Like, you know, different culture, different atmosphere. And I mean, definitely had to adjust. And, you know, they telling me, yeah, you come here to replace a top scorer, you better perform. Man, it wasn't fun no more. It became a job, like, you know, and it kind of.
Well, I mean, once they start giving you checks, that is a job.
Yeah, but
up
you
to that point, like, I mean, high school and college, I mean, like I said, you get your perks or whatever, but that's not your job. You know,
right.
you're still having fun.
I mean,
for the university, but once you get on your own, and that check only got your name on it, that's your job.
I mean, but when you think about it's the same type of terminology. They just kind of put it in a different way. Like when you go to college, they still paying for your education. You know, it's still a job for you, but now you got to manage, you know, your GPA and, you know, getting good grades in school and still coming out here on this court to perform. You can't miss no practice. You can't miss no classes. You know, they on your heels. Like, well, where were you? You know, where were you, Mr. Towns? Like, why didn't we see you in class today? You know, especially because you somebody on campus, you know, they on your top. So you got to show and prove, you know, it's not just, you know, it's a job there too, but they just don't put it to you like that.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody on the team is pretty much in the same boat.
Right.
I mean, if anything, if you want to challenge yourself to something, look, I don't want to be the one on the team that flunked off the basketball team or out the classroom. So my competition was probably my teammates,
right,
you know, or my class that I came in with. Like, if everybody doing well in school, I can't be the one not doing well.
Right.
And if guys playing well on the basketball court, I got to be able to outplay them. So it was like, I mean, you just got to really push yourself and stay focused. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to have all types of pitfalls. You're going to have all types of people in your ear.
Right.
You got to be mentally tough, like to block people out. And I don't mean like disown your family, because they going to put a lot of pressure on you too. All your friends are going to be on your back. Like with me, it was like my mother just really allowed me to pretty much make my own college decision. Like, she never pressured me and nothing like that, because I was the first in line. So it wasn't like, you know, it was a blueprint I was following behind. So she was like, listen, I'm going to stand behind whatever you want to do. Just make the right decision. Like, whenever I got ready to make a decision, I would always inform her, like, this is what I want to do. Because, in all honesty, after my sophomore year at LaSalle, I wanted to leave. But, some guy named Rodney Westcott talked me out of leaving. I was going to leave after my sophomore year and go to UMass, and I didn't care if I had to sit out, because I had already had in my mind, okay, if I sit out, I'm just going to focus on working out, and I got the school stuff down already, and I know for a fact that they're going to come back with a nice class or whatever, so I'll be able to blend right in. But he talked me out of it, because he felt like most Philly guys sometimes abandon the city. And he was like, I was in a good enough position where, as though, like, it was my team. So I pretty much could do what I want. But I told him, like, I'm not happy with doing what I want. I need players around me. Like, I don't want to be the focal point where, as though, we going to play Arizona, we playing Maryland, and I'm getting doubled and triple teamed every game because we don't have guys that can even compete at that level or strong enough guys. Because we have a lot of foreign guys, but they was soft. Like, you know, they was good people, but they was soft. And like years later, when I went overseas and played basketball, I saw the difference in culture from our basketball to theirs. Now, we can perfect all the flashy stuff or whatever, but when I first got over there, we was doing fundamental stuff. I mean, stuff that I was doing, I was probably like in eighth grade. We doing it every day. We doing a lot of conditioning. Like, I mean, we practicing 6 in the morning, we coming back 6 in the evening.
Right.
Doing so much running. I'm like, man, am I playing basketball or am I going to be a runner? Or a track star or something?
Right.
But it really helped me because our team was always in tip-top shape, so we could outrun squads when it came down to it. Plus, the only pressure I felt overseas was you gotta have 2 Americans in
Right.
every squad.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much the Americans is the focal point of the squad, and if you ain't producing, they getting you out of there.
Absolutely.
So many times. But in the same token, if you are producing, everybody in the league, everybody, and other scouts from different countries gonna take heed to it. So it's
Yes.
you can better your situation the following year. So
Right.
if you signing yearly contracts, every year can get better as long as you go out there putting in the work like you're supposed to.
And that's very true. I definitely can attest to that. Definitely overseas, man. Like you said, first thing we was doing was conditioning. We not picking up no ball, but my team was a top team, and like you said, we can outrun teams. It was run and gun. Listen, pass that joint, we out. Pass it up, we scoring. We try and get teams out so we could sit on the bench, because we knew how that was. A lot of practicing, two times a day. You got some of the people on your team that's still in school, so they only coming from one practice. So you tight, like, hold up, you not about to get on this court. Hold up, where was you at for early in the morning when we was in here shooting and everything, and that's what I had to deal with. But like you said, once you produce over there, man, everybody know you. Every team in the league know you. That's why any given moment, if I want to go back, I could go back. I had hurt my back. That's why I stopped playing. Went back in 2014, and I seen it was so different for me. I swear I was missing something. I had to give myself time to heal. So I took about 2 years off. I go back. It's nothing like how it was before, different players, just different styles. And I was like, yeah, that's not for me. And I think it was more of a maturity thing. I matured. I got to really live outside of basketball, because basketball was my life. That's all I did, from high school to college to overseas. I never had, Carlene Hightower time, to figure out what it is and what my purpose was in this world. And, it wasn't all about basketball, but it opened up so many doors for me so I can realize that, but I'm done with that. Different motion in the ocean now for me. Anything else? You got anything?
Before we ask any more questions, we got to take a break, and we'll be right back in 2 minutes, guys. All right.
Damn. He based all this stuff off of you. He like, get me a tall point guard up in it.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Back at the Frequency Show. It's me, Q Wiley, the Freak, and the Hoff. We're here with Kareem Rab Towns. Quick question. From high school to college to overseas and now, can you name some of your favorite teammates and why they're your favorite teammates?
High school, Jay played so hard. It's hard not to love Jay. Jawan Campbell.
Big Juan.
He was a man child.
Man child.
Clayton Howell, my point guard, was cool.
Clayton.
Yeah, he was solid.
Point guard deluxe.
Yeah, Ruben Simmons was cool. And when I got to college, my roommate Paul Burke from Chestnut Hill, we was tight for 4 years. Turk Wilmot. Me and Turk been playing ball with each other from high school down the hill to college. And that's my man, Donnie Shelton from Trenton.
Okay.
Ramon Hayward from Atlantic City.
Okay.
I had a lot of good good college teammates. And when I went overseas with the guy that went to Temple, Derek Petit. Me and Derek we played on this Italian team together for a year. I got real tight with him. So you know we super close.
Okay.
And as far as like I mean, now I mean I think I'm pretty much cool with everybody. Like I mean the guys I grew up with in my era, we still playing against each other.
I need names. I don't need guys. I need names. Give me names.
Guys I played with.
Now you said the guys now. How many guys now? Yeah, that you like playing with, and why do you like playing with?
I mean, I think we played against all of North Philly guys because it was always a friendly rivalry. South Philly versus North Philly.
Okay.
I mean, West guys, they cool, but they like down here with us. So like if we going up north, they riding with us, and we riding with them. But like I said, playing against I guess Pooh Allen, Alvin Williams, Cat Mobley, Sheed Wallace, and all those dudes, Haran Hand. It was great competition, like I said, from high school now, because I still get a chance to see these guys and play against these guys. LeVan Austin, like, we playing all the same leagues, so it's still, like I said, still friendly competition.
Okay.
So, say go back to, you know, the senior year, LaSalle, getting ready to graduate, great career. What was your confidence level that you were going to be a pro?
Oh man, it was off the chart because I felt like everybody, like everybody I played against my senior year, that was a top player. I pretty much held my own or outplayed them. They was probably on better teams, but like I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to have to play against these guys in camps or whatever. So like you know, I feel like I was confident that I'll be fine to do that. So, I got another good friend, Eddie Jones. Me and Eddie used to talk all the time. When he was with the Lakers, he kept, for some apparent reason, kept telling me that Jerry West would always inquire about me. So he was like, yo, they gonna start coming down and watching you. So, like the middle of my senior year, they was coming to a lot of LaSalle games at the Civic Center. So, once he told me that, I was like, you know, I pretty much believe that, you know, I should be okay. I should be able to get a job. So I wasn't really too worried. All I had to do was perform.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes people feel like because your team not that good, you're not going to get recognized, and that's really not true.
Absolutely.
Because the thing is this, if you can hold your own with what you have, it doesn't even matter. Like, for example, the #1 pick this year, the guy from the Sixers, his team wasn't good at all last year. And he was the #1 pick. So, I mean, it's about what you can do. And best believe any NBA scout or any NBA team, they know what they're looking for. They know how to find hidden gems. So, just all you got to do is produce and do your job. Don't, and most importantly, don't be a headache. Because nobody want to invest no money and nobody that's going to be a headache. So, keep your nose clean and work on your game.
Absolutely.
Do you have any younger guys coming up that you work with or speak to?
Well, I got two little buddies that go to Penn State, Lil Tone Carr and Isaiah Bostic.
Mr. Bostic.
That's my buddy's son, so I always talk with them whenever I get an opportunity. They pretty much the guys, because I feel like, especially Lil Tone, has an opportunity to make it to the next level.
So poised.
Oh man,
so poised at a point guard.
He has a.
Yeah, I've been watching him since he was young.
He's not out here reckless. He played at his own pace, and he understands what he needs to do. He don't do nothing he can't do.
Right.
So he's like the guy from the Lakers. He's a Lonzo Ball type. He made guys better.
Right.
It might not show on the stat sheet that y'all believe that he don't have 25 points or 30 points, but I had a big, not argument, but discussion with a friend of mine, Scoop. Scoop Davis, last week, and he was telling me about there's all this hype with Lonzo Ball, but he not scoring a lot of points. I was like, the game is like everybody a piece to a puzzle. Like he directs his team.
Right.
Like he don't have to score a lot of points to be successful.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to explain to him. I remember going to Nike camp and Jason Kidd was there. Jason Kidd wouldn't look at the basket. But he controlled the whole game. He was under control. He was super fast, and he played extremely hard.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't necessarily have to score 1,000,000 points to be effective, for somebody to recognize you on the court. So it like goes back, like I said, with Lonzo Ball. He averaging 9 points, but he averaging 7 rebounds and like 9 assists, like 8 assists. And I looked the other day, he was 5th in the league in assists
Right.
as a rookie. So because he don't score 25 points and he's not even 20 points, that don't make him a bad player. He just still got to figure it out, and he has to be a little bit more mentally stronger because he has so much
Hype on him.
stuff from his father,
Mm-hmm.
situations, issues with his brother. Like he has to concentrate and realize this is my job now. Like I gotta tune all that stuff out and concentrate on my craft.
Right.
But I think he'll be all right because he's a nice size guard. He's 6'6" guard, and like I said, even if he's not scoring points, he's doing other things every night. So he can't do nothing but get better.
Right.
I could see that, definitely. But the hype is major. I think his pop needs to chill and allow him to still be, that maturing young man that he's trying to be. He has too much, hype on him.
What I don't
And
understand though is, even if I was playing against him, it wouldn't make a difference with his father say because if I'm gonna play the way I'm gonna play anybody. I don't need extra motivation from his father to make me play my best against his son.
right,
And as far as him, it's like you've been around this your whole life. You know how your father is. It gotta come a point in time where you like tune it out yourself. It shouldn't
Right.
affect you, him running his face, because obviously he's never gonna change. So you playing for one of the most popular NBA teams in the history. So like your job is gonna always be in the spotlight. So you need to just focus on running this team and doing the best you can do. If you concentrate on your father, the issues with your little brother, or what God's saying about you around the league, he ain't gonna last long. But like I said, I think he's good enough and he understands enough that he'll get the job done because he make people better.
right. But I hope he has someone in his ear, letting him know these things, because a lot of young people don't. You just hear the hype. People not really telling you the truth. Banking on you to be this type of player, and that's really not your game. Like you're not out there to, like you said, score all these points. His game is to distribute. To get rebounds where he can to help his team in that aspect. He's a general on the floor. And people wanting him to score.
Like if people saying he having a bad season, averaging 9, 7, and 9, or 9, 7, and 8, and you a rookie and you 5th in the league in assists, that's a feat in itself. Because at the end of the day, a lot of guys are not going to get no 16 assists in no game.
Right.
The youngest player in NBA history, and we done went through Jordan to Kareem to Wilt to LeBron to Kobe. This guy done got 2 triple-doubles, and he just turned 20 years old. So
Right.
you got to give him some kind of credit.
Right.
I gotta give him some credit because the only reason why he was another player is because he was the perfect piece for him. Not because he was the best player. He was the perfect piece. He was the piece that comes down, pass the ball to all these guys that they got. He was score and get them elevate their game because they behind the eight ball with Russell.
Yeah.
Because this guy Ingram, he can't go with Russell. Jordan Clarkson,
Yeah.
he don't pass the ball enough.
No.
So it's like, okay, we got Lonzo Ball. We see what he did with UCLA. We can definitely use that. So
like I said, man, in between the hype of high school. He won in high school. He went to college. He took them to the Elite Eight. He was the Player of the Year.
Right.
He played the rookie. He was a MVP in the summer league for the rookies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he's doing a great job, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, he still has to understand and learn the game.
Right.
After a year playing ball, he got triple-double numbers. He gonna be fine, man. He been playing the same way his whole entire life, so I can't see him going downhill or being bad.
Okay. Now, hey, let me throw this name out there while we're talking. Dion Waiters. What do you think about him?
Right.
And how did you give any influence to him?
Well, I know Dion, but I don't know Dion. I know Dion through my godson,
Yes.
is Biggie Menace.
Yeah.
Like, one day I was playing ball over wide, and Biggie came in with him, and we all started shooting and got to talking or whatever. And that's how I really learned about Dion. But I mean, Dion is South Philly all day long. Like, he great. Like,
Okay.
He gonna get on the court and feel like
He that bull.
but I'm better than everybody else.
Right.
And you need that, because the one thing I love about Dion is, just like I said, he's self-motivated. He don't need Alonzo Ball's father to say something for him to go at his son.
Right.
Anyway.
Exactly.
Because he's mentally tough. Plus, he got that South Philly in him. So Dion always the only thing that could ever hurt Dion is Dion. Dion got all the ability.
Right.
He got. I mean, from his rookie year to now, like, I actually seen so much growth in his game. Like, his jumper is on right now. He's strong. He gonna bulldog all the little guards.
Right.
And take all the big guys off the dribble. Like, he can do everything you need him to do. All they need to do is get the right pieces around him.
Right. So you think he could be the go-to guy for Miami?
Definitely. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Whiteside is cool or whatever, but nah, I'm going with Dion.
So Philly cheese up in Miami. That's what we're talking. Philly cheese right now in Miami.
That's right. That's Dion's thing.
Because he beat Golden State last year, and he stopped the streak for Boston this year, right?
No question.
Okay, he put the 3 on that.
And he's gonna don't make it seem like he's not gonna beat no good teams this year.
Okay.
We just need, in all honesty, he just need to sneak in the playoffs. Now I don't think I'm not gonna say they're gonna championship team. But if they get in the playoffs, they gonna get somebody fits.
Do you think they're gonna make the playoffs?
Yeah, I think they can make it. I mean, the East, to me, I ain't gonna say it's weak, but
Nah, it is a little bit.
They good enough in the East to make the playoffs. I mean, it ain't. I mean, there's only probably 4 squads that really stick out that you want to say when you talk about East Coast basketball.
Right.
And he can compete with all of them. Like, so, yeah, I think he got. Like, I think actually last year he didn't get hurt, and a couple guys didn't get hurt. Whereas though they just barely missed the playoffs. They would have gave Cleveland or Boston one of them. I ain't say they would have beat them, but it wouldn't have been no sweep.
A good series, huh?
Definitely.
Okay. So let's rewind. Way back. Kareem. Just Kareem. You got a basketball in your hand. You don't really know how to play ball. What were some of your influences to make you love the game and want to play?
That's probably the neighborhood. Nate Blackwell.
Wow.
Jody Johnson from 13th Street for sure. Definitely Jody.
Jody was a baller.
Definitely Lionel Simmons, because he was like part of the reason why I did choose to go to the side. I had a lot of talks with him. Over here from 20th Street, Manny World. Lou Myers was like a big mentor to me when I was in high school. Me and him used to meet him and Sean Minutes. But it was crazy is I'm about to say a guy named that don't nobody know, because he was the one who actually took me off my mother's step and took me to the park on 23rd and Reed in Southwest. Some guy named Mike Morris. And it's crazy because I haven't seen Mike in years. And he came to one of my high school games because it was like he took me under his wing, and once I started really growing into who I was, he like disappeared. And then all of a sudden he popped up. He's like, I see all the stuff in the paper. I'm gonna come see you play. He comes to my game. I play against Overbrook, Elite Pros, and they had a nice squad, and I had like 55. And I talked to him at the end of the game, and he disappeared. Next time I see him, I'm in college.
Right.
He told me I'm making noise in college. He comes to see me play in college, and he disappeared again. So it was like every 4 or 5 years I would see Mike, but I haven't seen him yet this time. But I've been telling people about him all the time. But yeah, some guy named Mike Morris from he used to live on 23rd and Wilden, between Wilden and Garrett, was a guy who really took me off the steps and put the ball in my hand because he could play. Like, he had a nice handle, and he had a lot of confidence in me. I mean, from when he took me around the corner to this day, like Mike was one of those guys who, if I needed to talk about ball, I could lean on him, and he installed all the right things in me.
He was your basketball guardian angel.
Yeah, he definitely was. He definitely was.
Okay. Yeah. So you got this throne in South Philly. Who do you think is the heir to the throne out there that you can see in South Philly right now?
I don't know how I got that, but you gotta give it to Dion.
Dion?
I mean, I ain't gonna say he got the weight of South Philly on his back, but he's the one that's in the league right now, and he's doing his thing. So why not pass the torch to somebody that can hold it? I mean, he can hold it down.
Right.
Okay. How do you feel about Ramon Moore?
I love him. Rome's smooth.
Yeah.
He should have got an opportunity in the league too. I mean, like I said, man, it's a lot of politics.
Right.
Sometimes be in the right place at the right time. I mean, not to say he still can't get the opportunity, because you can still make a great living overseas.
Mm-hmm.
From what I'm hearing, he's doing well over there. So
Right.
sometimes you don't even want to mess that up. Like, if you can get yourself set for the next 5 to 10 years making good money,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got your house paid for, you got a car, you got money in the bank, your kids taken care of. I mean, hey man, you can chase that dream, but after a while, you can get tired of running and trying to chase it. So
Right.
if he in a stable situation right now, stay in that situation.
Okay.
One last question from me. I see you in Pete Rose type of situation. Like, you're a Hall of Famer, point blank. Anybody that watch basketball from the area knows this, from high school through college, knows this. Why won't they just say, here, Kareem, you're a Hall of Famer?
Well, my opinion is this: I actually don't know the answer. Like, I feel like, I mean, I did everything right my whole entire life. Like, you know, I wasn't never a bad child. Like, you know, I was brought up the right way. I mean, I graduated from high school, graduated from college. I produced on the courts at Southern, produced at LaSalle. I mean, all the records that I have accomplished or set. When I graduated in '91, I'm still there at Southern. When I graduated in '95 from LaSalle, it's still LaSalle. I mean, even schoolyard stuff, like the stuff I was doing or the stuff I did, like, really can't be, you know, duplicated. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not my call. Like, but I feel like, just say, y'all guys, like the guys I play with, my peers, as long as my peers know my body of work or know what I did,
Right.
and feel in their heart that I deserve it, I'm cool with that. Like, you know, I can't lose no sleep trying to convince people that I belong on Hall of Fame when, all right, I made a mistake in life. Like, everybody do. I mean, some people get caught up, some people don't. But I feel like at the end of the day, I didn't get in trouble in high school, I didn't get in trouble in college. I got in trouble 5 years after I graduated from college.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm getting crucified for a mistake that I made, but in the same token, I went away and they crucified me. So I did my time, and what occurred with me happened almost 18 years ago. So I'm still being held accountable for it. So like I said, I appreciate everybody showing me love as far as, you know, the Daily News, the Inquirer,
Mm-hmm.
my peers, like my friends, my family, all the support, like guys trying to do documentaries and all that stuff is great. And like I said, that means more to me than, I guess, making a Hall of Fame if I'm not given the opportunity. But like I said, if everybody else know I belong in, I'm cool with that. I know my heart I belong in.
Right.
Yeah. And it's, it's a blessing for me, to see a lot of guys from my era that I played against, I played with, you know what I mean, in my little game, you know what I'm saying? You got Marv, you got She, you know what I'm saying, you got Donnie, you know what I'm saying? But you the best though. You understand what I'm saying? And it's hard to fathom, you know what I mean, regardless of that. Because a lot of people done a lot of worse stuff and they were forgiven and given. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
What, Weber and them, they took money,
Yeah,
and gave them this stuff back.
right.
What, this is you know what I mean? It's not a statute of limitations on getting money.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did nothing wrong in his college era. It was after. What is it? You know what I'm saying? Like a morals thing for after you out of college.
Exactly.
He did nothing wrong while he was there.
Exactly.
That's the whole point. Now, is there a new committee? Has anybody reached out to you?
Well, just yesterday, for example, Donnie had texted me. He said he had talked to the athletic director of LaSalle, and he was going to be in contact with him because everything got to start through him. I guess once he see what's going on, we can contact the Big Five or whatever, and we'll take it from there. But like I said, guys like Marvin O'Connor and Donnie Carr done really stuck their neck out for me, and I really appreciate it because at the end of the day, like I said, I remember those same guys looking at me or looking up to me when I was playing ball and they was younger. So, I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot, I would do the same exact thing because I feel like if a guy done everything he was supposed to do and he ran across bad times or he ran into a situation, but that one situation don't define his life.
Absolutely.
Or who the person he is, right? Like I said, I just don't understand, but it's probably not meant for me to understand. Like, I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be. And when it's time for me to get inducted, I'll get inducted. But I can't speed the process up. I mean, it's crazy because it's more so people that surround me, family members, friends, that every day you belong in the hall, you belong in the hall, so-and-so, and you
Right.
do this.
Right.
Like,
That's
it's
how it
crazy
go.
Because me and Donnie had conversations because Donnie scored like 2,050 points in 4 years, and I scored like 35 and 3. So it was like we always talk about, well, damn, if I had another year, I'd probably be the second all-time leading scorer in LaSalle history, without a doubt. But it was meant for my road to be the way it was. I mean, because like I said, it helped me grow as a man and as a human being. So, like I said, I can't complain about my life at all. Like I said, I had one situation that occurred with me in 44 years. So that one situation, it helped me get stronger. It helped me really realize who was in my corner and who wasn't in my corner. And it also showed me that even though you've been positive your whole life, one mistake can change everybody's outlook on you.
Right.
Not necessarily your closest people or your family members, but society as a whole sometimes keep you in the spotlight until, like, I'm getting crucified until they're finished or they want to take me out of timeout. That's why, like, they done put me in timeout, like, you know what? Yeah, he done graduated from college, he was this basketball star or whatever, but he made a mistake and we gonna hold this on him. But I mean, like you said, the statutory limit is what? How long? Like, y'all act like I murdered somebody. I ain't never been a violent person in my life, so I mean, I paid my debt to society. I apologize to whoever I had to apologize to. So I mean, if it's time for me to get inducted, I'm welcoming it.
Absolutely.
Well, Rab, it was beautiful interview having you here. We know pulling your teeth to get you in here, to talk with us, but I'm glad that you came out, man.
Hey, look, you know what's funny?
What?
I know it's hard to get me here, right?
Wow.
You know I really don't like too much talking. I let everybody else talk, but it's funny because I actually believe that it was something else that was going to be asked or brought up, and I'm surprised it wasn't because everybody and their mama always ask the same thing about.
You and Sada?
Oh, man.
Who better? Rab or Sada? Y'all finish it on the internet, y'all. We out here. It's the Frequency Show. I'm Q Wally. That's the Freak, and that's the Hoff.
Hey now.
Y'all have a good one.
Well, we know Rab is better, so we ain't gonna.
Rap is better, man.
We not even gonna edit.
We was gonna do it, but
Listen, I always say, and I had something prepared for that too. I was gonna say,
why didn't you tell me?
listen, why?
Because I was gonna do it too, but he can't. He was home because I was about to get it out.
But why do people keep comparing me that we wasn't in the same room? He's 50 plus years old.
Yeah.
We're like 8 years older than me. Like he wasn't in it. I wasn't even in his era, man.
Listen,
He damn sure was.
listen, I don't like ghost stories. You know what I'm
Oh God.
saying? And that's all I ever
That's
heard.
how you gonna kill
Ghost
it?
stories.
Ghost stories? Because I ain't seen down South Philly Spawn
All I
40.
heard was ghost stories, man.
Y'all should have seen. Y'all should have seen.
Didn't play in high school.
He was
didn't
up.
play in college. So
I didn't hear him out 52nd and such and such having 30. I didn't hear.